My meal called my baby her do-over daughter, so I gave her exactly what she asked for. Carol always wanted a daughter, and from the moment my little girl arrived, she latched onto her like a barnacle on a ship's hull, declaring this was her chance to finally raise a girl properly. This was rich coming from someone who'd left her own sons to essentially raise themselves while she pursued her dreams and wine nights. My husband literally taught his younger brother how to tie shoes and make mac and cheese because Carol was too busy being a boss babe to parent. She'd show up at our house like clockwork during nap time because babies need fresh air, not prison cells, completely ignoring that our daughter had just finally fallen asleep after 2 hours of crying. Every parenting decision we made was met with theatrical sighs and lengthy monologues about how, when I raised my boys, she did everything differently, conveniently forgetting that my husband's childhood photos show him doing his own laundry at age 7. She'd undermine us at every turn, giving our daughter candy before dinner, letting her stay up past bedtime during visits, buying her toys we specifically said no to, all while maintaining this sugary sweet smile that made me want to scream into a pillow. The woman gave our daughter her first haircut that turned into bangs I specifically said no to. Another time she posted photos on Facebook calling her my baby, with me conveniently cropped out. She taught our toddler that mommy's rules are silly, and what happens at grandma's stays at grandma's, creating a secret-keeping dynamic that made my skin crawl. When we tried setting boundaries, she filed a CPS report claiming we were neglecting our daughter by not allowing proper family involvement, which resulted in a very awkward visit from a social worker who took one look at our clean home, stocked fridge, and happy child and closed the case immediately. The breaking point came when another mom at the park asked if I was my own daughter's nanny. Apparently, she had been introducing herself as our daughter's mother at the Tuesday Mommy and Me music classes for the past 3 months. When I confronted Carol, she pulled out a literal binder documenting every moment she'd saved our daughter from our inadequate parenting, complete with photos of every scraped knee she'd bandaged and every tear she'd dried, preparing to file for grandparent rights because someone needed to be a real mother to our baby. My husband lost it, telling her she'd crossed every line possible, but Carol just smiled and said we'd see what the courts thought about our restrictive parenting. That's when something shifted in me, like a switch flipping from frustrated to calculating, and I realized Carol's desperate need for control could be turned into the perfect trap. But first, we taught our daughter to politely say, "No thank you, Grandma," to every suggestion, which drove Carol insane. When my cousin had surgery scheduled, we told Carol we needed to be there for 2 weeks to help with recovery, asking if she could watch our daughter since she was always saying how much better she could handle things. Carol's eyes lit up like Christmas morning, immediately launching into how this would prove once and for all that our daughter needed her as the primary caregiver, and she eagerly agreed while already planning how she'd reorganize our daughter's entire routine. We left detailed instructions that we knew she'd ignore, kissed our daughter goodbye with promises of daily video calls, and headed to a nice hotel 20 minutes away where we could monitor the situation. Day 1, Carol posted smugly about finally doing things right, but by day 2, she was texting frantically that our daughter wouldn't eat anything but goldfish crackers, and kept asking for her stuffed elephant that Carol had thrown out for being ratty. Day 3 brought desperate voice messages about how our daughter had cut a chunk of Carol's hair while she dozed off during quiet time, and flushed her reading glasses down the toilet screaming. By day 5, she called my husband sobbing that our daughter had a tantrum at the grocery store, and she couldn't handle the judgment from strangers. We brought her home not even an hour later. We carefully saved every text and voicemail where Carol admitted she was overwhelmed, couldn't handle our daughter, and that maybe she'd been wrong about everything. When Carol's lawyer tried to file for grandparent rights a few weeks later, our lawyer presented her own words as evidence, including her tearful admission that she had no idea how we managed this every day. The judge, barely suppressing a smile, denied her petition. Now we let Carol get supervised visits every other Sunday, during which she sits rigidly on our couch while our daughter happily plays with the toys we've approved, occasionally running over to show mommy and daddy something cool while Carol watches in silence. Last week, she quietly asked my husband if maybe she could just be regular grandma from now on, no more competing, no more undermining, just grandma, and for the first time in years, she actually looked peaceful when he said yes.